Before you sign that contract with a new builder, make sure you watch this video for a full breakdown of the process and make sure you are protected when purchasing your new home. It's important to note that the buying process for a new construction is very different compared to a resale home. The biggest unknown for new construction is when your home will be ready to be moved in and when it will close. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to new construction, so as your real estate advisor, I want to make sure you are fully aware, especially of the timeline. Let me walk you through the process step by step as I do with my clients that are considering new construction as their primary home, second home, or as investment homes. There are 5 steps I will be sharing with you. Make sure you watch till the very end because I'd love to hear from you to see which step is the most important for you and your family. Step number 1, hire a real estate professional that is an expertise in new construction. Did you know that it costs you nothing to hire a professional to represent you for your new home purchase? If it doesn't cost you any money, why wouldn't you hire a professional real estate agent that is going to be able to walk you through the entire process step by step and answer all the questions you may have? There's a misconception that you as a buyer will get a better deal if you don't work with the buyer's agent. And that is absolutely not true. The commission that the buyer's agent receives from the new home builder is separate and set aside as their commission and does not impact the purchase price of your new home. Hiring a buyer's agent has huge benefits. For starters, they will know all the right questions to ask the builders in order to negotiate the best deal for you when it comes to your purchase agreement. Step number 2, have your real estate agent schedule an appointment with the new home builder in the community that you're most interested in. Make sure your realtor is with you on your first visit so that they could get you registered with the new builder and ensure that you'll be able to get representation by that realtor that has accompanied you. If you do not visit the sales office with your realtor on the first visit, in most cases, you will not be able to get representation by your realtor and you are on your own. Like I mentioned before, you want to get representation when purchasing new construction because you want to have your realtor vouching for you for your needs and wants. Have I had excited buyers that have gone to the sales office without me and then wanted to move forward with the purchase agreement? Absolutely. In those cases, I have reached out to my sales contact in those new communities and I was able to add myself as their buyer's agent to represent them on their purchase agreement. And this is because I have sold over 25 new construction homes last year and I have built a relationship with most of the builders here in Las Vegas and Henderson. This is where relationships that your realtor have matters. When you're doing your due diligence in hiring your representation for new construction, make sure you ask the following questions. How many new homes have you sold in the last year? Which builders do you have the most experience with? Can you share with me any challenges that you have had in the past with your buyers with any particular builders? You want to work with a realtor that has the expertise in new construction and have great relationship with these builders because there are going to be times where you are faced with uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable discussions that has to be made. Keep watching my playlist on new construction for more on that. Step 3. After you have toured the model home and have identified the floor plan that will work best for you and your family, here are the questions you want to ask the new home consultant in regard to the price of the home. What is the price of the home? What is the lot premium that is added on top of the base price? Do you currently have a spec home that has a faster close for this particular floor plan that I like? Which lots are currently available for the floor plan that I want to build on? Here are some questions you want to ask yourself and your family. What is my timeline? Do you need a spec home with a quicker move-in? Or do I have the flexibility to build a brand new home, keeping in mind that there may be some delays? Are you currently renting with a landlord that's super flexible and can go month to month? Or do you need to move out of your current home ASAP? Step 4. We all love discounts, don't we? Because I sure do, and I definitely want to get some deals or promotions or discounts when it comes to my new home. After you have confirmed the purchase price of your new build, here are the questions I would ask the sales consultant in regards to incentives. Incentives are like promotions and deals that the builders would offer you in order to close the deal. Let me walk you through all the possible incentives that you could ask for. Builder incentives. Builders may be promoting their incentives online or at the sales office. Make sure you ask what their builder incentives are. Are they offering to cover a portion or the entire closing costs? Closing costs are usually 3% of the purchase price. Are they offering interest rate buy downs? Since interest rates have gone up, builders are using buy down and interest rate promotions to attract buyers. As interest rates have gone up, builders are offering interest rate promotions such as 4.99% in order to attract these buyers. I just got an escrow open for a brand new home, and I was able to negotiate a total of 6% towards not only the closing costs, but additionally the overflow towards the buy down. And that's a huge savings for my buyers. So make sure you ask the builders what kind of builder incentives they're currently offering, and note that some of these incentives may be a limited offer only. So make sure you're aware of that and make sure you communicate that with your buyers so that they can make their decision in a timely manner. Depending on the builder, these builder incentives may be attached to the lender that you are going to be working with. These incentives are usually offered when you are working with the builder preferred lender. So make sure you have your realtor who is representing you to look into it if there are any further requirements in order to take advantage of these builder incentives. I've also experienced builders offer flooring upgrades, appliances packages, and window coverings as builder incentives. Flooring upgrades would range anywhere from $20,000 to about $45,000, depending on what kind of flooring you want to upgrade to. Most of my buyers do not want to have carpet, especially downstairs, so what they will do is use the flooring credit or the upgrade to basically rip out the carpet and change it into tile or hardwood floors. Appliance packages would include all brand new, usually stainless steel appliances, including washer, dryer, and refrigerator. That's usually valued at approximately $5,000. Window coverings such as blinds and shutters have also been brought up to our attention when negotiating the purchase agreement. Fun fact, builders are offering a lot more incentives like these ones, especially towards the end of the year. December is actually a very good month to look into purchasing a new home. Builders may have a certain quota that they need to meet by the end of the year, or maybe they just want to move all of their inventory homes before the end of the year. So make sure you keep that in mind and have your realtor look into that, especially if you have the flexibility on waiting till the very end of the year. Lender incentives. If you choose to work with a lender that is a preferred lender by the builder, there may be additional incentives that you could ask for. Last summer, when it was a seller's market, the builder would usually offer 2% towards closing, and the lender would give an additional 1% towards closing, so that was a 3% in total. Now with the shift in marketplace, you'll be very surprised to see how much more builders and lenders combined would give you in order to close a deal. Cash incentives. What if you're purchasing the brand new home in cash? Make sure you ask about cash incentives because builders, just like sellers in a resale market, may have something special for cash buyers. Cash is golden in all transactions because you don't have to rely on a financial institution to lend you the money to purchase that new home. When you pay cash, you also skip the appraisal process, so it's a much more quicker close, and builders and also sellers like that. Design credits. Have your realtor ask about design credits. Does the builder offer any design credits? And if so, how much? I've had builders offer my buyers anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 design credits in order to seal the deal. And for my buyers, that was absolutely an incredible offer because they definitely wanted to make some upgrades in the home, such as upgraded flooring and upgraded cabinets. So make sure you ask that question. Lot premium. I always remind my buyers that the purchase price that you see advertised on the websites or even on different signage is just the base price, not an all-in price of the home that you want to purchase. And in most cases, that advertised price is usually the price of the smallest floor plan available in that particular community. What's added on top of the base price is the lot premium, structural upgrades, design upgrades, and one more thing to keep in mind after you close is actually finishing your backyard. When you purchase a new home, your backyard is unfinished. It's a dirt lot. So it's up to you, and based on the different HOA, you have anywhere from 6 months to a year to finish your backyard. So that's an added cost that you have to be mindful of when purchasing a new home. In my opinion, every line item on the purchase agreement is negotiable. So for the lot premium, I would definitely ask the builders to see if there's any wiggle room on the price of the lot. Now, lot premium ranges, and I have seen anywhere from 0 lot premium all the way to $150,000 in lot premium. Funny story, I was showing my buyers this beautiful luxury community in the Summerlin neighborhood, and when we asked what the lot premium was for an elevated lot with a strip view, the sales consultant said $150,000 with a straight face. And for a second I thought she was joking, but she wasn't, and I almost fell off my chair. So anyways, there are lot premiums that could go up to $150,000 because of the resale value that this new home could have in the future. So definitely keep that in mind. Now let's talk about Spec Home. Spec Home is a specification home that builders build based on the most popular floor plan or most popular structural upgrades. Spec Home, unlike model homes, are available for purchase right now, and it has a quicker closing time. Rather than waiting 6 to 8 months for this spec home, maybe this spec home is ready to be moved in the next 1 to 3 months. So for those of you that is on a certain timeline that don't have the flexibility, a spec home may be for you. In my opinion, there is more room to negotiate on these spec homes because these builders may be interested in getting these inventory sold to close out that community. Or maybe it's towards the end of the year and they want to close out for that particular year. So make sure your realtor asks these questions regarding spec homes and see what kind of discounts you could get in closing a almost ready home. I see a lot of value and opportunities in purchasing a spec home. Last December, I had a builder reach out to me and tell me that they had to sell these spec homes by the end of the year, offering up to $125,000 in incentives. Comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on spec homes. Are you interested in a spec home? Do you want me to look into some of these new communities that are offering these spec homes right now and available for sale? Make sure you comment below or contact me. My contact information is in the description below. By the way, if we haven't met yet, konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist, helping you find your new home. No matter if you're buying a new home or a resale home, or buying in the US or anywhere in the world, I could help you. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're made aware of my weekly content. Now let's keep going. Step number 5. Now that you have confirmed your purchase price and all the incentives offered by the builder and the lender, it is time to sign the purchase agreement. The purchase agreement will be drafted by the sales consultant and it will be emailed to you through DocuSign for electronic signature. Make sure your realtor reviews the purchase agreement with you and make sure you ask any questions you may have on the agreement. And before you sign, make sure you address the following questions. When is my home going to be completed? The purchase agreement will not have a specific date for completion. Now why? That's because the builder don't want to be responsible and liable for a specific date that they promised that the home will be delivered by. And of course, builders want to protect themselves in the event of delays. Each builder will give you a time frame of what to expect as far as the completion date of your new home. I have seen anywhere from 6 to 8 months for tract homes and 13 to 15 months for semi-custom homes. Now, can you expect delays? Absolutely. Make sure your realtor is in touch and communicating with the sales consultant as far as timeline goes. Once groundbreaking happens, that is when the sales consultant is able to advise on a better timeline when it comes to when your frame walk will be scheduled and when your new home orientation will be scheduled, as well as the closing date. Frame walk in the building process is when the builder schedules an appointment with you as the buyer and your realtor to walk the home while in framing before the drywall happens. I highly recommend you as the buyer to attend in person with your realtor because this is an opportunity for you to see the house and make sure all the specifications on all of your upgrades are met when it comes to structural. On top of structural, this is an opportunity for you to walk the home and make sure that the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical is all at the right place. So let me give you an example. If you had upgraded your laundry room to have a sink, make sure you go to the laundry room and make sure that you see plumbing underneath to ensure that sink is going to be installed at the closing. If you have upgraded and added an additional bedroom upstairs instead of a loft, make sure at the frame walk you go upstairs and make sure you have that wall that is enclosed for that additional bedroom. I've gone through walkthroughs where we were missing walls. Yes, we were missing walls. It's very, very important to make sure you take your time out of your busy schedule to attend these walkthroughs, because after drywall, can you only imagine the hassle to then add or remove walls if it's not in the right place? And in the event that you cannot attend in person, make sure your realtor attends. And in my case, when I work with buyers from out of town, I video the entire walkthrough with all of my questions, throughout the whole process. The superintendent is the one from the builder that usually walks with us. So I film that, and then I would share it with my buyer so that they're fully aware of what that whole frame walk process is. And if they have additional questions, at that point, I could follow up with either the superintendent or my sales contact. When is my first payment due? A lot of my buyers will ask me that, and that is a great question because it doesn't happen right away. If your home, let's say, is closing in mid-month, your next payment does not happen until the next month. So let me just give you an example. If your home closes in mid-May, your first payment is not June 1st. It actually skips a month, and your first payment is July 1st. And I think that's very important for my buyers to know, because my buyers, many of them are relocating here from other places, and it's important for them to understand what their time frame is like when it comes to moving and packing and hiring even people to help them relocate. Am I married to the interest rate when I signed the contract? The answer is yes. As your real estate advisor, I will go over all the documents that's involved with your lender. Now, I mentioned that 4.99% interest rate. Remember that earlier? But did you know that that promotion was actually not for a 30-year fixed rate? It was actually a promotion that they were offering for a 7-year ARM. There's a lot of different incentives that are offered, but there may be some loopholes. So make sure your realtor and your lender goes through all of the documentation with you so that you're fully aware of what those terms are. So the answer is yes, because whatever you sign, you're locked down. So whether it's a 7-year ARM or whether it's a 30-year fixed, you will be locked down with that interest rate. However, if you wanted to refinance in the future when interest rates do go down significantly, I would highly recommend it as your real estate advisor. What questions or things should I have in writing from the loan officer or the lending company and the builder to ensure that my monthly payment does not change? I have a lot of buyers ask me about the monthly payment, and once you've signed the agreement, the purchase price or the purchase contract, and have reviewed with your loan officer your monthly payment, I will also go over that with you to ensure that everything looks good. And once you've agreed to those terms, nothing will change. Your monthly payment will not change, you guys. And that's one of the reasons why home ownership is great, because you know your monthly expense, it doesn't fluctuate. Unlike when you're renting, the landlord has the ability to increase your rent, right? I think a lot of us are experiencing that right now, and there's so many unknown because you don't own that house. But when it comes to home ownership, you are able to budget and understand what your monthly expenses are, because once you've signed that agreement with your lender, that is set in stone for whatever the term is. So whether you're doing a 7-year ARM or whether you're doing a 30-year fix, that monthly payment will stay the same till the end of the term. Design and structural upgrades. Are those all final when I sign the contract, or do I have some wiggle room to make modifications? That's an excellent question. I'm actually going to break it down into 2 parts. Structural upgrade is included in the purchase agreement from the beginning. So you are not able to make a change during the building phase, because that obviously changes the timeline, right? So you cannot make a change on the structural after you've signed the purchase agreement. Now, when it comes to design upgrades, yes, there are some flexibility based on when you want to make that design change, right? So after you've signed the purchase agreement and you go to the design center and choose all of your beautiful finishes, Maybe you have a change of heart. Maybe it's a week after your design center appointment, or maybe it's a couple months after design center appointment. Depending on when you've had that change of heart, at that point, as your realtor, I will reach out to the sales contact and also the design center contact to see if we're able to make any changes at that point in time. Now, based on that point in time of the build process, we may or may not be able to make these design upgrades. In most cases, we have been lucky and been able to make those design changes because you've had a change of heart, or you've maybe seen, a new model home and got some new ideas on some design finishes. That happens, and that happens all the time. So just make sure you're aware that you are able to make some design changes based on the building process timeline. If you're finding this list helpful, drop the word guide in the comment section below. Now let's keep going. Let me know if you have any additional questions when it comes to new construction before signing the purchase agreement. I'll be more than happy to address them. After you are 100% comfortable with the purchase agreement, then you will at that time sign the DocuSign electronically. At that point, the builder will request an earnest money deposit to be wired to the title to open escrow. That earnest money deposit will be applied towards your down payment. Earnest money deposit can vary by builders, but what I have seen in Spec Home is anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. And what I have seen in semi-custom homes is over $150,000 plus. Sometimes it's a flat fee, and sometimes it's a percentage of the purchase price of your new home. Now, you've asked, Kaori, is that negotiable? And the answer is yes. I had a buyer recently go under contract for a new build in the Southwest, and originally the builder was asking for 10% of the total purchase price of the new home. In this situation, the home was valued at $450,000, so 10% of that was $45,000 in earnest money deposit. That was considerably high for my buyer who was relocating his family from California. So he had asked me to see if I could negotiate on that percentage. And I did. I asked the builder if they would be able to reduce that by 50% to 5%, and the builder said yes. Hooray! For more videos about new construction and how to get the best deal, make sure you check out this video where I go over all my tips and tricks in order to get you into a new home this year. I also have a playlist for all things new construction, so make sure you keep watching these videos. Thank you so much for all of your engagement. I read and respond to each of your comments, so keep them coming. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.